If you've seen this cross before, you've probably heard kind of the history of it. So there was one cross that I saw when I was in Italy, and I started seeing it the very first year that I started going, which was probably around, it was 97 or 98. And it was a very high-end Italian designer. It's a designer that really only designs pretty much for the Italian market. And it was in the window of their booth, and I absolutely fell in love with that cross. It was just the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen, but obviously I couldn't afford it. So every year when I went back to the Vicenza Fair, I would go by that booth and just look at that cross. I would just visit and say hi, tell it how pretty it looked, you know, all that kind of stuff. And, but I couldn't afford it at that point. You know, I was just starting out. It was 18 karat gold and diamonds. There was no way that I could ever afford it. And then when I got to a place in my career where I'd saved up enough money and I could afford it, I went back and it wasn't in the window. And I was devastated. I mean, I'd been looking at that cross for 15 years. I mean, this was a very long-term thing. And it wasn't in the window, and I was so upset. And I went back to, you know, people I was working with, and they said, "What's wrong?" And I'm telling the story about this cross and, you know, the designer that did it. And my friend who we work with in Italy said, "Oh, well, I used to work with him years ago, blah, blah, blah. Come with me, we'll go over and ask." So we go back to the booth, and it's in the really high-end area. They have the designer area where everyone, you know, just behaves really well. And so we walk into the booth, and they just lit up when they saw my friend from Italy. "Oh, it's been so long, and how are you doing?" and all this kind of stuff. So it turns out, yeah, they're great friends. They worked together when they were just starting out in the jewelry industry, when they were both young, and you know, just hadn't seen each other in forever. And yes, they did still make that cross, but only by custom order. It wasn't in their line anymore. And so my friend, because they are good friends for so many years, convinced them to not only make it for me, but give me the friends and family discount. So I had to wait a couple months to get it, and it was so worth it. And it's just my favorite cross in the world. And it came with a chain and a leather cord, and it looks exactly like this. So my 18 karat gold and diamond looks exactly like this. This is one that the Italians have agreed to do for us. And we've done it a number of times, and it's simply called My Favorite Cross, because it really, really is. It started out in the yellow. We did it in the white. Oops, I forgot to hold that up, wait. We started out with, I think maybe just the yellow and the white, and then we went to rose. By the way, you can get this in either the long or the short, the large or small, whichever you prefer. They're all going to come with a beautiful chain and a leather cord like I'm wearing. Now, besides rose, white, and yellow, you can also get tricolor. This was one that we just introduced recently. Very popular. Absolutely love it. Again, you can get in that in large or small. You can also get, this is one we added recently, the black. Now, I love the black in this because I think that that beautiful satin really shows the black, and then the stones in between are just stunning. Again, large or small in the black, but for the first time, we're actually expanding that. I'm wearing the black, obviously. We're expanding that, and now we're doing a two-tone version, which we've never ever offered before, and so many of you were asking for. So this is going to be the large or the small in the two-tone. That's going to be a yellow and white. Whichever one you order, you can get all yellow, all white, all rose, all black. You can get tricolor, or you can get yellow and white two-tone. Any of those options are in large or small, and all of those options come with two different ways you can wear it. It comes with the leather cord that you tie, and it comes with the chain. So you have a lot of different ways to do it. This is something that the Italians are really only making for us. This was a special request. This is something that we have had to work very closely with the factory on, especially after the last round. We really went back to them and said, you know, we need you to work on this, we need you to work on that. And they've really just gotten it down for us beautifully, and they're ready to do another advance order for us. And it's something that I wasn't sure we were going to be able to do after the last time, so I'm really thrilled on this one. It's an interesting thing in Italy, because you would think, well, they did it for us before, why can't they do it again? It doesn't always work that way. Factories go out of business, factories get too busy, they're not taking new orders, they don't use that machinery anymore, that artisan isn't there, that doesn't do that one technique, and the list goes on and on. So whenever we do an advance order from Italy, it literally is one of those things where we may not ever be able to do it again, we may be able to do it again, I don't know. It took us probably 9 months or even longer in between this last time and the time before. So I was thrilled that we could do it for you this time. I was thrilled that we could offer it in the two-tone, as well as the tricolor, as well as the black, as well as the rose and white and yellow. Again, large or small, all those options, and all those options come with the chain and the leather cord. I love it. It's one of those pieces that my sister lives in. I just went to visit my sisters, and they both live in this cross every day, and everything they wear it with looks amazing. I just fall in love with it more and more every time I see it on other people. It's so awesome. So if you have it, think about adding to your collection. And if you've never tried it, boy, you better try it now, because it is one absolutely amazing cross.